Hello! It's another planting day out in the garden. I am going to be doing beans today. It's time to put them in. Actually, it's a little later than when we would normally put them in. We would have probably put them in, but we have a busy life, so can't get everything done, and we do have lots of gardens and other things to do on the property. Okay, so I will be planting two kinds of beans. I'm going to be doing a runner bean and a bushed bean. In the north bed, I'm going to be planting this purple bean called Blauhilde, and apparently it is tolerant to mosaic virus, although I have never had that problem on our property. And so it's going to get these pretty purple pods. It says it's stringless and it's not too tough. I noticed in runner beans they can be kind of tough. So hopefully this is a good variety. And then when you cook them, they will turn bright green as soon as they hit the hot water. To grow these on, I am putting up two 4-legged wigwams. There we go. I couldn't get it out. I'll show you how I did that. These sticks are ones from pruning, and then we chopped or trimmed off the little side branches. They're not perfect. Some of them look a little wonky, but they'll do just fine. I might have to push them in the ground a little bit more. Okay, so to hold them together, I tied them with twine pretty securely, and they are pretty secure. They don't really move too much. I feel like having 4 makes it a little stronger, although if you think 3, try triangle. They say triangles are stronger. It's whatever. Alright, but I'm doing a 4-pronged wigwam. And so, I guess what I'll do, I think I'm going to plant 2 on each stake. Here's what the beans look like. I lost some. So, I think I'll do 1 on each side. I'm just going to put my finger in and make about a 1/2 inch hole. So I'll do that on each of these sticks. Cover them up. So if I'm doing 2 on each stick and I have 8, I'll have 16 plants, which is, I mean, it's not as much as I've done in the past, but it'll probably be enough. And if I want more, I can always plant them somewhere else as well, as another crop goes out. Right now everything's pretty planned out, but for rotations it would be fine. Okay, the next bean I'm going to be planting is Cantare. It's a bush bean that gets these long, thin pods, so I thought they would be really good for fresh eating right out of the garden. Yeah, Monty thinks so too. Um, so they're in our south bed, and I'm hoping, well, I know we'll be far enough away from the Blauhilde to save pure seed in the fall. So we'll have Blauhilde and Cantare in our shop next year, and I'm really excited for that. I'm going to be using the board to plant, if Monty will let me. So on each side of the board, I'm going to make a drill, and that's about 8 inches apart. It says to plant 6 to 8 or 6 to 12 inches apart. So I figure 8 would be good. And then a few inches apart in the drill. I guess my hands work better. So I'm just going to make a drill on each side of this board, which is about 8 inches. So the rows will be 8 inches apart. And then I'll plant the seeds a couple inches apart in the row. Cantare beans are planted and watered in. I got 7 rows in a 6-foot long section by 6 foot wide. Before I go though, I thought I would show you some garden updates and kind of explain how our vegetable plots go. Where I planted the Cantare beans is our south vegetable plot. I'll back up. So we have this long section. We have some root crops and lettuces coming up here. And then I also healed in some iris that I need to take out. Anyway, and then in this next bed, I'm going to be having some winter squash, I believe. And then this bed is legumes. And yeah, so beans and peas are in right now. I'll be putting some onions in soon as well. This bed is going to be tomatoes. And then finally, this large one, we have potatoes. The ones that are already up are Desiree, and we're using them as our early crop. And then over here we have our main crop. I'm not entirely sure what the name is at the moment. I keep forgetting, and obviously there's still grass coming up, so we'll need to take care of that. So this is our south vegetable plot, and then we walk over in the middle. We have a wildflower bed, nectar bar, so it's specifically for pollinators. And then on this side is just all my iris. I needed somewhere to put it, so that's where I put it. Where I planted the Blauhilde beans earlier is our north vegetable plot. And we have 5 beds like the other, and they'll rotate. Well, we have a little more than 5, but that's another story. Because we have thin strips along the edge. So, and we'll be planting seed onions there, so those are the ones we'll grow for seed. In this section, we're going to be putting squashes. And then here, onions, and obviously my peas that I planted in a previous video, the shell peas. They're coming up. The germination wasn't as great, but it was old seed, so that's expected. I'll get new seed this year. And then here I have beans, and at the end there will be corn, and then radishes, some lettuce as well. We have the brassicas and the salsify and rutabaga. The salsify is up, and so is the rutabaga. The brassicas are so-so. The broccoli and cauliflower didn't really like the frost that we got. We didn't get them covered, unfortunately. Then in this bed, this is all rye that we used as a cover crop, and we haven't gotten completely out, but tomatoes will go in here. And then on the edge, tomatoes will go here as well. And then at the end, we have some lettuce and rocket. This one is red romaine. There's the rocket. Over here, we have the spinach. So this is the kind I just sowed about a week ago. And this is the earlier sowing. And that, I think, is all the updates. So if you like the video, subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I'll see you next time.